Yo, this is your boy D-Hop, aka The Weed, and I'm here today to present you a video about Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. And I'm gonna be talking about how Togashi Yoshihiro had foreshadowed both Yusuke's, the main character of Yu Yu Hakusho, and Gon's, the main character of Hunter x Hunter, transformations throughout the series. Now, I'm gonna start off with Yu Yu Hakusho, and then I'm gonna talk about Hunter x Hunter. Let's start off with Yusuke. Let's, let's just briefly summarize what happened to Yusuke with his transformation. Now, Yusuke made a demon transformation, and that was because of the Mozoku bloodline that was in him, which was um from his forefather Ryzen, who was a demon who mated with a human woman, and that demon blood got diluted over the generations, the bloodline. However, Ryzen set up so whereas when a human with a down spiritual prowess, and yeah, with a down spiritual prowess, and also with the necessary amount of training to get to a certain level of spiritual energy, and also certain conditions, with those two other things, for certain conditions to happen with those two other things, and that condition was death for Yusuke. With those three things, that allowed the Latin demon blood hidden within Yusuke's genetics to awaken and transform Yusuke into his demon form. And then, eventually, Ryzen eventually did take over Yusuke's body, because as Yusuke started leading more to his demon traits, that allowed Ryzen's essence, or Ryzen's being that was within Yusuke, to overtake him, because he's a demon and he goes beyond the physical, because physical and mental. That's how you overtake Yusuke's body. So let's talk about how the author Togashi had foreshadowed Yusuke's transformation from the transformation all the way back to the beginning. And this is a theory real, so I'm just not throwing it out there, but Yusuke's foreshadowing is much more, it has more lack of evidence, and it could be just Togashi Reed and made it up as he went, or he didn't fully come to terms with exactly what type of transformation he's going to give Yusuke or what's going to happen. But I think that there are slight foreshadowings throughout the series, all the way up to that point, that was foretelling Yusuke's demon lineage and eventually his transformation. Now I'm gonna start off with talking about, before I get to Yusuke, I'm gonna start off talking about demons. So the demons of the Yu Yu Hakusho world, they're like demons. The way they express themselves, how they naturally act, most of them, as we see, not all of them, but most of them, as we see, have this love for violence, battling, fighting, that more reptilian, demonic nature, those traits of a demon. And a perfect example of this is the Dark Tournament, and we see how gruesome that was, how brutal the Dark Tournament was, and you can't necessarily, I wouldn't say evil, but more so that's just within their nature. That's what demons are, and we see that with the crowd and during the Dark Tournament, the crowd was like cheering and enjoying every time the fighting would the aura of the battles would elevate and increase, and all those vibes was getting off of that thrill of battling and fighting and violence. We see that with the demons in the Dark Tournament, and also we see that with the fighters within the tournament, the demons who fought also. So, and that's one example. Oh, also to add on, even the announcer chick, the dog ears, or the cat, yeah, the dog ears, she was getting into it, and she was way sadistic. So that's just within their nature. Now, I'm gonna get into another example, and with another demon, Hiei. Now, we know not all demons are fighters, but we know it's like they have this warrior instinct, like the warrior type mentality, you know, and it's more, I would say, probably more beastly or more animalistic. Like this, basically the strong. It's more in the sense of the strong will survive and the weak will perish type thing with the demons. So with heat and then a perfect example I would try to point out about the demons and their heritage and their traits and their nature and how they express themselves would be when during I think it was a chapter black art, was it? I think it was a chapter black art when they finally was able to cross over the Kakai portal. They go over to the demon world, and he commented on this, and he said he took like I think he was like, yes, nice, this is my home. And then he was like, yeah, this the fresh smell of blood, dead body, gore, or whatever. And then he was like, this is my home. This is demon world. This is how we run. So that tells you enough right there how demons are. Because he was like, yes, this is my home. This is where I belong. I feel right here. Blood, violence, battling. The strong weak. The strong will survive. The weak will perish. And by he commenting on that was significant to show what demons were like, how they express themselves, and that gives a little glimpse into how does things work within the confines of the demon world, within the confines of the Yu Yu Hakusho world. And that was a good example. And so the reason why I brought up the traits of demons about fighting, that warrior type instinct, is to talk about Yusuke and how he displayed that, and how that trait slowly became more potent and more, obvious over time. And that was through each and every single spirit detective job he took on. Now we see it even before that. So let's talk about Yusuke as a character. We know Yusuke, he was a social outcast. He was a loner. He didn't fit in with everybody else. And that was also because of how his life was. His father abandoned him. His mother didn't really take care of him properly. Also, he had this sense of self-hatred because he took in the reality of others. He took in everybody else would like talk negative about him and said that he was just always destined to fail. He never become anything, and he listened to that and he took that in that reality, and he developed this self-hatred for himself because of his fear of failure. And with the combination of his home issues, his abandonment issues, and his mother issues, who wasn't a good mother, she was a terrible mother. This caused Yusuke to act the way he did, which was always getting into fights, battling, acting like a delinquent, blah blah blah, acting like a terrible human being. Not only completely terrible, but acting like a not so, not a good, well-bound human being and or citizen and student, a young man. He wasn't like that. Now, I'm gonna get into another reason why I acted like that too. Now, and not in the sense of being delinquent, but I'm specifically talking about the fights. But that Yusuke, Yusuke as delinquent, he was a loner, and part of the reason why because a lot of other ones feared him, and because he was above all the other delinquent peers, not peers, but all the other delinquents when it comes to basically fighting. He was just whooping ass, and no one can beat him. Kurobawa never could have beat Yusuke. He always should try, but for some strange reason, Yusuke was just on another level than everybody else. So naturally, he was just a natural fighter. Not only that he was a natural fighter, he also loved the fight. He loved the brawling. And it's just like that was just a I would say that was a slight indication of Yusuke's um personality and his trait that he just likes to brawl. And it wasn't just his delinquent ways, it was just Yusuke. And another a small, probably a less significant example of this was when Yusuke was he, Botan wanted Yusuke to take on that job, that spirit detective job, to find that demon Rondo. In order to do that, he was supposed to attend a Genkai's tournament, whatever, that small tournament with the demon Rondo. And Yusuke was like, nah, man, I ain't about to do that. He was reluctant, and she was like, I got 2 fighting tournament tickets, and he was like, okay. So that little thing shows that Yusuke was into MMA, mixed martial arts. But you could probably take that part one of Yusuke's hobbies, but that's also another little tiny and display that Yusuke has this natural interest in this fighting, battling. That's a step that how do I say this? Not aura, but that world of battling, that fighting world. And that was just a small indication, like one of Yusuke's hobbies. He just like MMA, but that's just a little something to say that Yusuke has this trait within him, and that's part of how he expresses himself. Now, let's start to get into more how it starts to display the spirit detective jobs. You see, Yusuke, he has his natural way of fighting. Even Genkai said that even though he would seem dumb in other areas, when it comes to fighting, he's a fighting genius. And we see this, a good example is when he first fought Hiei. Even though you can say that was pure luck, but he was going head to head with a demon. Even though at this point in time he was a lower class demon. I think he was D class, but still, it doesn't matter because even for a human, he just at that point in time, Yusuke just started that job. He just started becoming a spirit detective. He was already going head to head with a demon, and then not only a demon but an experienced demon in the phenomenal warrior, Hiei. And he was going head to head with him. Even though he started getting his ass at the end, but he still was able to fight against him. Just to show that even when he just started, he's not like any other human. So let's go over to one of the most prominent arcs of the series, the longest arcs and one of the best arcs, the Dark Tournament arc. Now, another good example of how Yusuke starts showing that other side of him that who loves fighting and who like naturally gets attracted to that battling world, that that warrior spirit, whatever, was the Dark Tournament. And a good example of this was when he fought against, I forgot the dude's name, but it was the Mohawk dude, the demon, the drunken master. You know what I'm talking about. The one with the the little beard, and he had the Mohawk, and then they end up at the end he did that Russian roulette type thing with the knives against their heels. That dude. So when he was fighting that dude, an important thing occurred here. It wasn't the fight, but it was how both Yusuke and his opponent were enjoying the fight, enjoying the battle, even though it was bloody, it was gory, it was brutal. But that was the beauty of it to Yusuke and the opponent. But the thing about this is because Keiko, she was there, and we know Keiko's a little girl, and she's not used to type of stuff, and she couldn't handle it. She was like, "Oh my God, I don't understand how they can do that. How can they how exactly can they stand this? They usually could die. I don't understand that." And Korba had explained to her. He was like, "I don't know why, but it just usually I had to let Yusuke do this because he's a man." But another thing that occurred here was when I first saw the episode, I got the vibes I got from this specific scene was how it almost seemed like Yusuke for that moment it took Yusuke out of the world of humans. Like it almost looks like Yusuke got detached himself from his friends, And by getting to that the fight so much, he was no longer part of the human world, but he was in the midst of the demons because Yusuke was joining. He was smiling. The Mohawk dude was smiling, and the audience was like roaring up, and then they was enjoying this, and Yusuke was enjoying it as much as the other demons, all the other demons, and then it just shows that Yusuke loves to brawl, that trait of Yusuke, and then it was very similar to the trait the trait of a demon who loves to that brutal nature, that fighting nature, the strong survive, the weak repair, whatever. That just that the way of the demons. Let's call it that, the way of the demons. And we see that Yusuke was almost as Yusuke, was fitted into that world. That one scene at the end of that fight. And we see Yusuke, that's his personality. He's the type of person who, makes friends with can make friends with enemies, particularly demons. But it's almost like Yusuke, in a way, that was a part of Yusuke that he never knew he had. That was, slowly starting to not awaken, but slowly starting to reveal itself. And that was a good example. So the point I'm trying to make here is I was comparing the way of the demons and how Yusuke's natural fighting talent and his natural love for brawling, and how I was trying to say that one character trait of Yusuke was actually not only that's part of Yusuke's character as a human, but the Latin demon within Yusuke, and slowly start awakening when he starts getting to the world fighting, like actually real fighting, and as he started to become stronger, And this is interesting too because we know that the demon blood wasn't able to awaken because was able to awaken because Yusuke got to a certain point of strength. And as you can with this you can infer that as Yusuke started to become stronger, slowly his Latin demon traits were slowly showing, and that demon trait also has a little fighting and his fighting ability. And the reason why Yusuke wasn't able to fully unlock his demon transformation when he first died was because he was a weak human. But at this point in time, as the series goes on, he's no longer a weak human. So that's one thing. Point one, that I just discussed the natural fighting ability of Yusuke and his love for fighting, and compared it to the nature of demons. And I would say that was probably a glimpse of foreshadowing of Yusuke's demon heritage and possibly his transformation. Now, the second thing for Yusuke was his fast pace of growing. Growing, I mean his spirit energy, how strong he was becoming. Because he hasn't been spiritual for that long. But he got, by the chapter Black Art, Yusuke was B class. He was able to defeat the girl who had much experience and training in Yusuke. And we see other characters comment, just like Genkai, like, wow, this boy, he's just something else. And Yusuke she knew that it was something different about Yusuke. And that's why she was trying to give Yusuke all the spiritual energy she collected over her lifetime. And that's why she gave it to him, because she knew that he had the physical, physical ability to handle it. But she wasn't too sure about the mental ability, because he was still a boy. But he was able to overcome that eventually, and that's how he got the power in order to defeat the girl. After he overcame his emotional block. But that's going to something else. The point I'm trying to make here is how it's always been foreshadowed that Yusuke was a different human. You can say that he was a human gifted with a lot of talent and potential to have a lot of spiritual energy. But But it's a little indication to show that Yusuke wasn't just a spiritually endowed human. He was something else, something a little bit more. And we see this when Yusuke first like awakened his true power when he was fighting against Toguro. Like Yusuke, he was standing there, he was like, "Alright, Toguro," and then this dude just freaking teleported. He was like, "Sharon," and then Toguro was like, "Yo, fuck, he was pretty fast." And it just shows like slowly, you can see it's like something different about this character Yusuke, and he was just the the amount of time from when he first became spiritual like the training all the way up to chapter Blackheart when he fought Century. The amount of time that short amount of time Yusuke was able to get to a high level, and then it was just very rare. He was able to go against like other powerful demons in a sanctuary who was way more powerful than Yusuke. And then eventually Yusuke did lost. And because Yusuke wasn't on that level yet. Because even though he did become more powerful over a short course of time. It's essentially stated that if Yusuke's spiritual energy was like a lake, then that means Sisuke's energy was like an entire ocean. And that's why Yusuke lost. But, he awoken, got the fangs, his own freaking, I forgot, Pooh. Yeah, Pooh turned to a freaking phoenix, and he was like, yeah, go. And then that's what happened. But that's another example to show. That's another example of foreshadowing towards Yusuke's demon heritage, or I'll say other humanly trait and his Vinci's transformation. So that was that was Yusuke. Another thing. Okay, that was it for Yusuke. So let's go on to Gon. Now, difference between Gon and Yusuke. Yusuke's transformation was his foreshadowing of Yusuke's transformation was a lot less noticeable. And like I said, this is a theory video, so you can even say that it was really no foreshadowing at all until probably the very into the chapter Blackheart. And you can say that was just Togashi, making stuff up as he goes, or you can say Togashi had this intention from the very beginning. I don't know, but let's talk about Gon, because Gon, you could tell Togashi he put a lot more foreshadowing about Gon's transformation. Like you knew it was something different about Gon. You definitely knew. You didn't theorize. You wasn't too sure. You was not too sure, but you knew it was something different about Gon. And this is through Gon's character, his personality, his character traits, and his potential, his physical potential. So his physical potential and his psyche. So similar to Yusuke, but different because we're dealing with a straight human being here. Now Gon was he started off the series with superhuman strength, and this is mission by those mysterious beings. I forgot the name of the mysterious beings, but at the very beginning of the series, whichever version you watch, the things with the long ears. One of them said that the reason why Gon, when he took that mini test with the 4 things, the long ears, one of them said that Gon passed that test because he displayed superhuman strength. So that's proof that at the beginning of the series, Gon had superhuman strength. Also, another example of Gon having superhuman strength was when he, after the tournament, during the Hunter exams, that little tournament, when Killua got disqualified, when Gon got angry and he grabbed Illumi's arm, he broke Illumi's arm. And considering that Illumi, I would say, has a lot more nin than Gon at the point in time because he's more experienced. It just shows that Gon just has his natural freaking inhuman strength at the very beginning of the series. So that was a foreshadowing of Gon's natural potential. A little foreshadowing, but I have a lot more to say. And when he broke Illumin's arm, of course, Lumi didn't feel shit. He just stood there like, oh, my arm is broken. But for some reason, Hunter x Hunter characters, they have extremely high tolerance for pain. They don't feel anything. Like, they can be chopped up in pieces, and they'll be like, okay. So they don't feel anything. Hunter x Hunter characters do not feel pain that much at all. But more about Gon. Gon's psyche, like Gon's psyche as a character. And one example of this is how. Okay, one example is this was Gon. When Gon, when he was during the tournament, during the Hunter exams, Gon was going against Hanzo. Remember that? And we see that Gon was no match for Hanzo. But however, the only way that you can win if you make the other opponent surrender. So Hanzo kept beating the crap out of Gon, and he was like, "Yo, I'm going to kill you. Why won't you surrender?" And Gon said that I won't surrender, but at the same time, I don't want to get hurt too, or I don't want to die either. And this type of reaction is different because Gon's like this abnormal type of thinking, apart from other characters of the Hunter world. And as a response, everyone in the arena laughed because they was like, "What the heck? That's funny," because they thought it was, I guess, a little adorable. It was Gon. But however, this was a foreshadowing of Gon's twisted mindset, and Hanzo even picked this up because when he heard that, he looked into Gon's eyes and said, "Okay, something different about this kid. I'm not gonna make him surrender." It is something in his eyes that says, I have to give up. I don't know what it is, but it's a certain light in his eye. We don't know what that light is, but as the series goes on, we start to see the truth. Now, another example of Gon's psyche would be how Gon is would seem like your average shonen protagonist. He's pure-hearted. He's a heart of gold. He's light, and we see that Gon has a problem with killing people, and we see how he addresses the fan truth with this. One example was when he and Killer got captured, and I think this is specifically in the 2011 version, and I'm not sure about the manga, but I know this is in the new version of Hunter x Hunter. When he and Killer got captured, Gon asked Chrollo, "Why do y'all kill people?" And then the way Chrollo responded, he gave Gon this freaking look. I don't know how to describe the look. It was just this look that he gave Gon made Gon said, "Just step back." Literally and freaking mentally, immensely. Gon stepped back. It was like, whoa. Like he got these chills. Like it was almost as Gon saying, "Whoa, I probably shouldn't answer that question." But that's one example how you see how Gon has this problem with killing people. And another better example is when Nobunaga, he questioned Nobunaga how Nobunaga was sad over Urogen's death because Kurapika had killed him. But Gon didn't understand why he would be sad over his friend's death. But then wouldn't show any of that sadness to other people that he killed over the years. And then Phaeton was like, "Yo, don't get too cocky." And he was about to just freaking destroy Gon. And then he got stopped. But that showed another part of Gon's character. How he has this problem with, killing people. However, it's strange because Gon's best friend is Killua, who was an assassin, and who has killed people. And Gon is able to comprehend and, understand Killua as a person, and he never really, questioned Killua about his past and his killings, his murders. But he does this to other people that he doesn't see are doing the right things in his eyes. So that shows a little twist with Gon's character. And we see this twisted psyche evolve over time, especially within the Chimera Ant arc with Pito and all of that. But at that point in time, the foreshadowing of Gon's transformation is very, clear. However, I'm going to be more talking about the foreshadowing before the Chimera Ant arc. Now, I'm going to more of his Gon's physical power. Gon's physical power, I talk about his natural physical strength. Now, let's talk about his nin. Wing said that both Gon and Killua were like a rarity. He said they were like one out of a million people, which is very rare. And he said, "Oh, Zooey, what's his name? Zooey? Okay. His disciple was like one out of 100,000, but Gon and Killua were 1 out of a million. So this is always saying that okay, both of them are special, but Gon, the foreshadowing of Gon's immense men, that has been foreshadowed, and more so in the 2011 version of the anime, because I don't remember that in the 1999 version. In the 2011 version, Gon, when they was testing their nin with the bottles of water, the glass cups of water, when Gon did his nin started to overflow crazily, and when he started freaking out, he was like, "Oh my God, Gon, please stop! It's like too much." It was cracking everything. That's a major foreshadowing towards something. So yeah, that was a major foreshadowing towards something. And we see throughout the series, Gon's nin start to grow stronger and stronger. And not only that, Gon has this thing where in the midst of battle, he knows how to pull out more amounts of nin during battle. And that's also another thing for Yusuke too, because as Yusuke has also that ability, like during when he fights, his spiritual energy will rise. And both Gon and Yusuke are similar in this sense, the fact that it has more something to do with their emotions. However, the difference between Gon and Yusuke is that Yusuke is more so he wanted to protect his friends. And of course, he wanted to get the job done, but he was more emotionally motivated to protect the people he cared about. Well, Gon, it wasn't just that. It was, but however, that's more like like a cover for. That was more of a cover, and the actual thing, the actual true nature behind the cover or the curtain, was that Gon has this thing about feeling powerless and not able to defeat an enemy that he sees is not doing the right thing, or the enemy that whose values or ideas and that his enemy actions, basically an enemy whose way of life isn't with agreements with God's way of life, and he can't stand being defeated or feeling powerless against someone like that. And that's how he's able to grow a huge amount of nin through his emotions during mostly during battle. And eventually this is seen vividly during the Chimera Ant arc with Pito, which led to his adult transformation, or should I say dark adult transformation. Excuse me. So with the combination of Gon's twisted psyche and his hidden nin, his hidden dormant amounts of nin, or also his hidden vast amounts of nin, those two things working together, and it's also said that emotions and nin, they go hand in hand. They kind of affect each other, your emotions and your mental state. And God's mental state, like I said, as I was saying, is twisted. And also, I think Wing mentioned this too, because he was explaining how he was explaining how learning nin was the second hunter exam, but more so the secret hunter exam. And the reason why is because nin has to be kept a secret, because if people knew about this, it would be very destructive. Because if we don't know how to control nin, more so control your emotions, this can lead to destructive power. And he warns them. He's like, be very wary of your emotions when dealing with nin, because it can kill, it can cause massive amount of destruction. So with those two things, Gon's psyche and his large amounts of nin, that was, I would say, probably a very, a very, I won't say huge, not really huge. It didn't start getting huge until the Chimera Ant arc, but I would say that that was a very, what's the word for it? I'm gonna say that was a very obvious foreshadowing of something else was gone. And when it start, as we go on through further series, we start to see that something's going to have to be gone. He's about to explode, and he's going to transform into something, and that's what happened. So both Gon and Yusuke had foreshadowings of their transformations, and it both has to do with their natural physical prowess and their character traits, more doing with their mentality and their emotions. And for Gon, it was different because it was specifically for Gon, specifically the traits of Gon as a human. For Yusuke, it will be more towards his demon part of him. So that was my theory on the foreshadows of Gon's and Yusuke's transformation. So if you watch this video and you made it all the way through, like, comment what you think, you agree, disagree, whatever, or you don't, or you just want to talk about it, or if I missed something, put it. If I didn't miss something, whatever. And make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't checked out my channel, I have other videos up. And the latest video I did before this was I was talking about a theory how Gon will be the one to kill Hisoka. Watch that. And have other videos. It's mostly theories, but a few of them is more like discussions. So I make this theory discussion / discussion videos. I'm thinking about redoing like half of my videos, like doing the revised versions of them, because most of the videos I made was when I first started off doing this, and I wasn't getting that much views, so I didn't really care that much. I just wanted to see if I could views, so most of them are done on my phone and the quality is bad. So I plan on redoing those videos, some of them. So if you see videos and the quality is bad, you know why, because I just started. But I'm still beginning, and I don't know where this channel gonna go yet. The video I have the most views on is my One Punch Man webcomic chapter 109 discussion / review. It's only like like almost 4 minutes, but that got a lot of views, more than expected. So check out my channel. I have interesting theories about anime manga, mostly Hunter x Hunter and One Punch Man. So go ahead. So this is D-Hop, aka the Weed, and this is my theory about Yusuke and Gon's transformations and the foreshadowings of it, all those transformations. And so thank you for your time, and peace. So out.